Reverb Experiment, episode number 65. We are back in the building. We apologize for us missing the last episode. This is your lovely host, G_Focus. I got Stef.net in the building, right to my left.
Good, y'all. We got a jam-packed show for y'all today. We've been gone, but we coming back with a vengeance because Cassie out here accusing Diddy of abuse. Pardi disses Meg Thee Person. Snoop Dogg giving up marijuana. Duane Martin stealing everybody, man. KeKe Palmer mama is dragging everybody. And of course, we got new music. Andre 3000 out here, Drake, Chris Brown. So it's going to be a jam-packed show.
Ari dropped. Did you hear that song?
What? Ari dropped a song?
See,
oh,
look at you. You over there messing up.
And that's my girl.
You over there messing up.
Oh,
do we need to pause and so you can listen to it?
I already know it's about. Ain't no question. Don't look like that. What you heard it?
No, I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I haven't heard it
Don't
yet.
do my girl. I trust her.
No, yeah. Before we get into the episode, we got some sad news. We don't know too much about it. Just came out, just saw it. So I guess there was a shooting at a New Hampshire hospital. So we want to just give our condolences to the victims. It looks like 2 are confirmed dead. There may be more that are injured. So we're reporting it live. So we want to just give, again, our condolences to the families, to the victims. And man, they're gonna have to do something about this shooting stuff, man. It'll be a hot topic in this new election cycle that's coming up.
Absolutely.
We will make sure that we plug the Sister Circle.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Voter guide. Make sure that everybody is knowledgeable. You know what I mean on their voting. But yeah, man, this mass shooting and stuff that's going on in this world, man, is just crazy. But
out of control.
Yeah, but we got a fun show for y'all, man. So we're going to just go ahead and get into it. First of all, man, if y'all can, please donate.
Donations.
Please donate.
Donations.
The link is in the bio.
Gifts.
Like, comment,
Gifts.
subscribe.
Like, comment,
YouTube,
subscribe.
Everything.
YouTube,
we on
everything.
TikTok, Twitter, all that. So
Facebook, Instagram.
Make sure y'all keeping up with us. And we really trying to get to that 500 subscribers. We have 496. So if y'all can follow us on YouTube, that's what's up.
For sure. And we are dropping more consistent. We're trying to get with the program over here, but we've been pretty consistent. But we're gonna make sure that we have like a set schedule for y'all, so y'all can be looking. But if you are new to the channel, if you're new to listening to us, just if you like and you hit that bell, you will be alerted whenever there's a new video.
Absolutely.
And if you follow us on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, you will also get some type of notification whenever we drop our audio as well. So
and also join our group on Facebook. It be popping in there.
The Reverb Nation.
The Reverb Nation.
Nation.
We're gonna leave that in the comments too. So let's get into it, man.
We're gonna
start with the rapid fire shit first.
Rapid fire.
We're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. First off, we got Snoop Dogg giving up marijuana. What's your thoughts on that? Absolutely.
Round of applause, man. I got to give him a round of applause. I will say this though. I give it some pause because the comment was he's gonna stop smoking and give his lungs a break.
Okay.
So there's other ways to absorb THC.
He did say he was giving up smoke.
He did say smoking. True. So I don't know if he's transitioning to edibles. I don't know what he's doing. But the bottom line is I'm going to take it at face value. And I'm going to, again, round of applause. Because, I'm going to say that because his brand is smoking.
It is.
So that's giving up a lot of money.
Yeah.
I know he's been dabbling in spirituality. I know he had a gospel album. He had a reggae album. I know his mom is a devout Christian. So I don't know if this is like a conversion. Okay. And when I say conversion, you can still be a Christian and smoke weed. But what I mean is like he's being maybe more holistic or taking care of his body.
Absolutely.
Because he said he's giving his lungs a break. So, but I know he had some health scares the last couple years.
That was my first mindset as I was like, dang, I hope Snoop is okay because I feel like weed is like one of that, oh, it's from the earth and it's healthy for you and this and that. But I just feel like, I don't smoke, but I just feel like the consumption of it is like, there could be too much of a good thing, if that makes sense. And then also the way that you consume it, like if you wrapping it in, you know what I'm saying, like tobacco papers, like you still are, you know what I mean, doing damage to your lungs. There are people that go and after smoking for a long time, they get, I think it's called cannabinoid hypermesis or whatever, where they get really sick, like for weeks at a time from smoking. It's happened to people that I know where just randomly, like they in the hospital and they like, the doctor tell them it's the weed and they don't believe it. So I'm like, I just hope it's no underlying health issues, but I definitely feel like, you know, Meek Mill spoke out now saying he gonna stop smoking and stuff like that. I think people are really starting to realize that you can't overdo it. And there are other effects that I think people don't necessarily know about that much. Like for the men out there, it can affect your sperm count. If you out here surviving on weed and Hennessy, you might want to go get checked. Okay. So it's a lot of other things too. And I'm just hoping that it will be a little, this will push more education around, what's the word I'm looking for? Being more cautious or cutting back. Like you shouldn't be smoking 3, 4, 5 times a day. You can't eat without, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I you know, I'm sure he'll probably elaborate on exactly why outside of the lungs, but I do remember there was a couple of health issues, and I know he's in the cannabis business himself, so you know that's a pretty big thing. Like I said, smoking weed and Snoop is
synonymous,
hand in hand. It is very, you know. So whenever you think of Snoop, you think about weed. So to hear that he's giving that up, like you said, I hope that does cause people to look at it a little bit differently,
a little bit deeper,
and understand that you can be addicted to weed.
Oh yeah, I think the thing about being addicted to it is that the withdrawals when you come off of it aren't necessarily that bad. Can't eat, can't sleep, you know, those kind of things. Like those are kind of things like you're not going to die.
Yeah.
You know, detoxing from weed. You could die detoxing, like going cold turkey from alcohol and other stuff. So I get it.
For sure.
And I definitely feel like it does have medicinal purposes. But I think it should take, people should take a little bit more research into, especially the stuff out there today. You don't know what you're getting.
You don't know what you're getting. And when I'm saying addicted, what I'm more or less talking about is if you cannot function through the day without smoking weed, then I, in my opinion, would say that you have a problem.
Yeah, I will look deeper into it. If it's like your only coping mechanism.
If you have to wake up and the first thing you got to do before you go to work or whatever, if you got to smoke weed when you wake up, you got to smoke weed when you go to sleep, you're masking.
Yeah, you might want to look into that.
You might want to look into that. And again, I'm not against smoking weed.
And I ain't hating.
I'm not hating it. I am anti depending on a substance for you to live and to be functioning.
I feel you on that.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just look at it. So, round of applause for my man Snoop, man.
Absolutely.
Round of applause for my man Snoop, man. That's a big decision. Costly decision, too.
Absolutely.
Costly decision.
Next up, we got Duane Martin out here stealing everybody. Man, we already knew the rumors about Lisa Ray saying that she introduced her husband to them when they were working on the show All of Us. And she said after that, her husband was gone. I'm assuming that to mean that she stole her man.
Oh, man.
And then now, you know, we have, you know, Jada Pinkett was on her tour for her book. Now we got I want to say it was a assistant coming out saying that he walked in on Duane and Will in the middle of sexual acts. Is this old tea? Because there was whispers about this. There's been whispers about this in the past. Old tea? Or is there some truth to it?
Are you gay? Are you gay?
How you gonna ask me a question like that?
How do you marry a woman and then turn around and let a man bend you over?
Ain't nobody bending me over.
Oh, so you doing the bending?
So you doing the bending?
I cannot with you right now, like at all whatsoever.
That's gonna be on the board from now on. I'm gonna cut it though. So you doing the bending, man? You know what? Lisa Ray, I don't know, man. She kind of messy. I ain't gonna say kind of messy. She is really messy. There may be some truth to it. What's the question? Is it true?
Is it true or is it stale tea?
Man, look, that's Will Smith's business, man.
I mean, I feel like it is his business.
That's his business. This is, and we talked about this off the air. Like, what's the motive for you telling the story? People getting broke. Like, so you was his assistant for 20 years, whatever. I just feel like it was tabloids then. It's done. It's buried. They denied it. Do you have proof? Do you not have proof? If unless it comes out of Will Smith's or Duane Martin's mouth, it's gossip until then.
I agree with that.
Now we know that there's rumors of swingers and things of that nature, and I just feel like if Will was gay, don't you think we would have like heard more?
I mean, I feel like Jada done told so much. Y'all swear she tell all the business.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like,
she gonna tell that?
Don't you think that we would have heard from that? Like at this point?
I mean, it's been whispers. I ain't gonna.
But then again, I know that they've been trying to protect their marriage. So I just think.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't. For me,
really, I don't. Honestly, you know what? I really don't care.
I don't care. I just found it funny how it was like such a shock to the internet, and I have to like remember, like, okay, this new generation don't know a lot. They didn't even know Nelly and Chingy used to beef back in the day. Yeah. Like, so it's like some of this stuff that's hitting the internet is stuff that was already,
you know what,
a thing back in the day.
I got it. I know why it's a thing now. You know what? We grew up at a time where you had to be there.
Yeah.
They are now growing up in an era where I can go back in time and look at the internet and try to piece things together. Mm-hmm. There's some things you're not going to be able to get from the internet. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to be able to get the feeling of when Wayne dropped his Drought, or Dedication or Squad Up mixtape. It was just a feeling. You had to be there.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to go back to an internet page and read it. So, like, some of this stuff with Duane Martin and, like, even, like, just the rumors with Will and Jada, that was kind of, I mean, I guess that was pre-internet. Like,
that's why I kept saying, I'm not shocked. Even when all this started coming out,
we just knew.
Her with August and this and that and the men in the open, like,
we just knew.
Everybody already knew this. But, I can't, like I said, I was saying off air, a lot of this stuff was stuff that you stood in line at the grocery store and you looked over and it was on the cover of People magazine or US Weekly. Like, I'm like, they've been on them covers for a long time.
It was on the tabloids. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just some of y'all, y'all wasn't there.
Y'all wasn't there. We that last era.
Like that. That's why I be joking with, like, when people be like comparing, like, and this is just for instance, and I don't want to get too far off topic, but they'll be like, man, who was one of the guys? I don't know. Whoever you want to put in this, blank new artist is better than Tupac. And I'm just like, you wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, you
like,
ain't lying.
Like you trying to compare going back 20 years listening to something instead of being there.
Being there for the interviews, for the feeling of when it, like the era of what was going on at that time.
Listening to the songs on the radio.
Yeah.
Listening to live interviews, reading Double XL or the Source magazine. Like, you was not there. Like, when people were talking about something, it's because it was impactful.
Yeah,
now
it wasn't because it was trending and you got enough people to share it. No, you had to really,
like, it had to come back to you, or just going outside and hearing what people were playing in their car. Mm-hmm. Like, if you heard 4 or 5 people playing the same album in their car, it's because, dang, like, that's a really good album. Like, you know what I mean? It's like
word of mouth. It's on the radio. It's kind of like what people were saying about, like, Drake matching Michael Jackson for the number ones or top Billboard number one stuff. It's not the same because they didn't have streaming, which I get it. Like, I'm not trying to discount Drake. I love Drake.
No.
But it's
but it's not the same. You have to go physically buy a record or an album or whatever, or even, like, going to a show. Like, when people are like, oh, give me a recap of the show. You wasn't there. Like, it's a feeling. Mm-hmm. And I think this, and when I say this generation, more or less this age, like this time and period, people are trying to, like, quantify an experience or quantify what it was like. And it's like, I think that's why we have so much nostalgia, because we knew what it felt like.
Yeah, I'll be talking like, even like I was talking about with the hyphy era, like if you was outside for that era, it hit different than listening to the music now.
Yeah, for sure.
When you was outside when it was actually happening,
For sure.
Oh, it's different.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure. So yeah, I don't care if it is true. It is true. If it's not, it's not. I don't think it's true.
They claim they suing them, so we'll see where that goes.
They should. You know what? Hold on. No, for real. More people need to start doing that.
No, for real, yeah.
For false accusations that hurts somebody's brand. No, sue them. No, don't be. No, you can't just be out here just talking crazy.
Yeah, it's not like you out here saying allegedly or this. No, like you're saying for a fact.
No,
so
you're saying
I ain't mad at it if they do.
No. See, and trying to make money off of me, I would be suing you too.
I ain't mad at it. All right, speaking of accusation, KeKe Palmer's mama is out here dragging everybody. And as we know, KeKe Palmer filed for custody. She accused her baby daddy of abuse. And his brother came out in defense of him, which made her mama come out in defense of her, which made the baby daddy release some footages of KeKe Palmer's mama dragging him for filth. And in that dragging, she called him dumb for being mad about the dress situation and the Usher situation because Usher is gay.
Are you gay?
Now we running it back. Look, do we believe it's true?
No.
Or was she just speaking in the moment?
What? Okay.
Or did Usher just catch a stray?
Why did that even come up? Is she trying to say, like, why are you worried about him because he's gay? Is that what she's trying to say?
Yeah, like, why are you even mad about that situation? Usher is gay. That's what she said.
But he's not. Maybe I lost something. Was there something that happened that proves that he's gay? That we like, is that something that's like,
it?
I missed it.
I don't know. I mean, I know him and KeKe is close, but I don't know.
I don't think they're that close.
Look, the way this industry look, you see what else we got on the docket for the show. I don't put nothing past nobody.
We've seen Usher with multiple women. I don't understand. I'm not saying it doesn't mean that you can't be that, but I mean, but we've had records and is documented that he's had sexual history with women, where the whole herpes thing was women, wasn't it?
I believe it was all women.
Okay, so what are we trying to say here? Are we saying that you can be gay and still be sleeping with women? Wouldn't that make you bisexual? I don't know. Look, I'm not buying it.
I feel like everybody business
like
getting
that
put on
shit.
Front
Sure,
Street,
bro.
whether it's true or not.
I don't like that shit.
This was the week of putting people on Front Street.
I refuse to believe pro lover USHERRAMEOND was cruising around in this drop top looking for Tyrone. Okay, no.
I'm the biggest Usher fan. Like Usher is king
sorry.
R&B for our
I'm
generation
sorry.
to me.
I'm sorry. I can't picture it. I can't fathom it. That's gonna ruin his whole catalog. So we gonna leave it to be that he's straight. So Usher, whatever, whoever mama this is, Mama KeKe, you need to chill out, okay,
bruh.
Because stop, just stop.
And you know what? I kind of feel like the baby daddy recorded the conversation and released the conversation to divert attention.
Well, I think what he was trying to do was to show how outlandish he is, and we also have to have this conversation. Maybe not today. That all abuse is abuse. Verbal abuse is still abuse. And you know, whatever.
But my thing is, like, even with that, like, I don't want to get too deep into it. With dealing with a narcissist, like, they trigger you, and then they want to they want to get all calmly talking.
I understand.
After they've already triggered you.
I understand.
Like, and if you put your hands on my daughter, I'm probably gonna cuss you out the way that she cussed you out.
And I'm not condoning any of that. I'm just saying that. I don't know. I don't know the context of the conversation. Obviously, emotions were high on both sides because he's upset because of the situation. And in that situation, that's not the time to be poking the bear and saying, oh, why are you tripping? You shouldn't even be mad. Like, if I'm mad, I'm mad. Don't tell me what I should or should not be. Like, that does not help. Like, okay, let's talk about that does not de-escalate the situation.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm mad and you say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't be mad," do you think that's going to make me less mad? Like, that's going to make me more mad because you're telling me I shouldn't be mad. Come on now.
No, I feel you on that, but in a situation of
And for the other part, and the other thing I mean, okay, whatever.
I mean, I'm not approaching you on some let me de-escalate when, like, if things have gotten physical or things have gotten to an abuse situation.
So was
damn.
that conversation recorded after it was quote unquote physical?
I mean, that's what the mom is saying. She's saying that was her response to the abuse.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to give an opinion when I don't know the backstory. I don't know the context.
I mean, that's what she was saying. Like,
that's what
you
she
gonna
was
put
saying.
your hands on my daughter, and you know what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, I ain't mad at it. I just feel like Usher caught a stray.
Well, it seemed like he catching strays all over the place. So.
Man, on all fronts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man,
he ain't gay.
All right, let's get into these Diddy accusations because Usher caught a stray in that too.
Okay,
but
how did Usher graduate? Oh yes. Okay,
you know, because of all, I feel like all Diddy business coming out, and then I feel like other people business coming out, at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So
he been in the
everybody getting swallowed in the Diddy accusations. But if you've been under a rock and you haven't seen, Cassie filed a civil lawsuit under the Adult Survivors Act, which allows alleged victims of sexual abuse to file a civil suit after the statute of limitation has expired. Mm-hmm. The act expires next week. So per her team, she feels this was her last chance to speak out. But as we know, the suit has already been settled out of court for an undisclosed amount. But we're going to get into it.
Well, so this was, so this lawsuit was filed, or not filed. I guess we knew about it yesterday.
And it's
Today
already
is
wrapped up.
Friday the 17th, and they've already settled.
It's already wrapped up.
It's already settled.
But we're going to get into it. So the suit alleged that she met him in 2005 at the age of 19, and a pattern of control and abuse began, including controlling her career, finances, medical records, supplying and pressuring her to do drugs, physical abuse, sexual acts with male prostitutes while he watched and recorded and masturbated, forcing her to carry his gun in her purse. He also allegedly dangled one of her friends from a 17th floor balcony, threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car for dating her, which later did blow up around the same time in his driveway. And Kid Cudi did confirm that did happen, but it's alleged that Diddy was involved in that. And she
alleged he was or was not?
That he was involved in. It's alleged that Diddy was the one that got the car blown up.
But there was no.
But he threatened to do it, and then it happened kind of in the same time.
And there was
frame.
no investigation. Okay.
But, you know, she also alleged that when she would leave, he would send staff to lure her back. And in 2018, after meeting him for dinner, he forced himself into her apartment and raped her, which is when she finally left for good. And we know she's married now, but she said, of course, during that time, she felt trapped and silenced and afraid to leave because she felt her life and her family and her career was in danger. So a couple artists have come out and kind of like supported, tweeted, you know, said a couple little cryptic tweets. You got Kamora Lee Simmons, who was a close friend of Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, Aubrey O'Day, former artist, and Danny Kane, D Woods, former artist, and Danny Kane. So a couple people have kind of been like, it's seeming kind of like...
And there'll be more.
There'll be more, absolutely. But Diddy's camp alleges that prior to the lawsuit being filed, Cassie had been blackmailing Diddy for money with the threat of a tell-all book, and his refusal is why the lawsuit was filed, while Cassie's camp claimed that he offered her 8 figures not to file, and she refused, choosing to speak out instead. So my question is, do you think this is a money grab?
They both could be true.
You think about?
I think they're both true. I think she was blackmailing him, but I think what he did was true.
Okay, so 2 things could be true at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Why would you offer somebody 8 figures if it's not true?
I mean, that's what it's giving.
But I can also see that she was saying, hey, if you don't pay me, I'm going to tell all of it.
Yeah.
She settled in the day. So, I mean, it wasn't to put him on blast. It wasn't to bring out the truth.
I mean, I feel like she did get to bring out the truth and she got paid. And I said, I think, I don't know if you said it or I said it with the Trey Songz allegations, where people were like, when he pulled the girl's breast out, and people was like, well, why is she trying to get paid? Why do we have an issue with victims of assault getting paid, but we don't? Like, anytime somebody fall in the stove, get hit by, first thing y'all hollering is, "Oh, I'm finna get paid."
Well, I think it's different, because if it's sexual abuse, the public will say that if you're coming out to stop them, the only way to truly stop them would be to have them investigated, arrested, and tried.
Well, in this case, the statutes of limitations is over with.
Well,
at least for a criminal.
Right. But that's why people will look at this, and I'm not saying I do. I'm saying that's why people would look at this and say, well, it's a money grab, because why would you not report it? Why would you not have him investigated and have him tried, so that way he's not able to do it again?
That is true. But I feel like everybody has their own reasonings for not saying nothing. I was not in her shoes to know what trauma or what fear she had around speaking out.
And she was 19.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I mean, they were together for like 10 years.
I'm not making that an excuse, but at 19, I mean, think about what you were doing at 19.
Yeah.
And
I
think
get
about
that.
how impressionable you were at 19, and
how long you were with that person to be kind of like brainwashed.
Well, and you can just think that this is just the norm. And that's a lot of times when it comes to music and fashion industry, that when you get there, you're like, well, this is just what they do. So this is a part of what I have to do. So I think, I believe both are true, but I absolutely believe whatever he's accused of, that he's done it. And plus some.
Yeah, I guarantee it's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
There's a clip with Fabulous and Diddy rolling around I think it's there at the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like super weird, because Diddy was like, "Oh, I've been wanting to party with you. Like, how come me and you ain't party, daddy?" And then Fab was like, "Yeah, we're not. I'm not into those."
I swear somebody said, I want to say it was a Diddy party. I can't remember who it was, but they said that they was like, I guess at a party with Diddy, or supposed to like after party with Diddy, and they kind of like acted like they went to the bathroom and left.
Yeah.
Who was that?
I forgot who it was, but I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I'm probably because it was
crazy
up
seems like there is a general consensus that Diddy's parties are pretty crazy.
And back to what we was saying about you had to be there. This is not new information. So I think a lot of like where it's like, it just kind of like the math starts mathing on things that have already been whispered and already kind of through the grapevine.
Well, if you start putting the pieces together, because I know when we were talking about the publishing stuff, you had brought it out that allegedly that in order to get the publishing back, when Diddy was giving the publishing back, part of the agreement was they had to sign an NDA.
Yeah. So Aubrey O'Day is the one who came out, and she said that he offered everybody publishing in exchange for
NDAs,
their silence, of them never being able to speak on him ever again. That was the agreement. She said she didn't agree to it. And my thought, I don't know what you think. My question is, do you feel like that was in preparation for this lawsuit? Because if he's saying that she was blackmailing him already, I'm pretty sure he would have then went to try to silence everybody else that could probably say something to him.
I'm sure his legal team advised him that would be the smart thing to do. Had to be.
Because Aubrey also said, allegedly, she said that the reason why she had a lot of the issues that she had in Danity Kane was because she basically was not willing to do all of that. She said that she was not willing to do what was required of her that didn't have anything to do with music. And then she also said that she was the only one in the group that was pressured to do those things.
I would have to hear the other side of the story to that. I'm not saying what she's saying is not true. Because this is the white lead, right? The white girl that was the lead. See, because I've heard the opposite. I just don't remember who I heard it from.
Because with her, I found it funny to me when they were on Making the Band that she was the one, like she went out and did like this GQ shoot. This before she was even in the band.
That's what I'm saying.
She did the GQ shoot, other stuff, and I'm just kind of like, like her.
It seemed like she was propped up.
She was.
From the beginning. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so
it's giving, I wouldn't be shocked that he was trying to make her one of the ones.
I wouldn't be surprised either. And then we also got to think about, what was that other group?
That he had Dream?
The Pussycat Dolls?
No, he had Dream. I don't think he had Pussycat Dolls.
Wasn't he dating her, though? The lead from the Pussycat Dolls?
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't her name like Nicole?
Nicole Scherzinger?
Yeah. Because remember, she was on the lead single on Play, where it was Christina Aguilera and her, wasn't it?
I think so.
And you're right, it was Dream.
That was his group, was Dream.
After Danity came.
Before. That was before.
That was before. I'll be interested to see what they have to say.
I see Day 26 ain't said nothing. I'm like,
yeah.
And a lot of people were saying like, I feel like it was, I don't know what it was, but I think it was money, but people were saying that's why Mace walked away and did gospel and never came back to hip hop.
Nah, that's not why. That's not why.
I don't know.
No, he was about to get killed. That's why he left and he went to Atlanta. One of his close friends got killed, and then he bounced and went down south. He went to Atlanta. Well,
I mean, from what people are saying, Diddy is like basically like R. Kelly, Suge Knight,
well, we heard
Ike
that
Turner.
from Carisha and all the stuff that she's saying in the bedroom that she would do, and we also have to factor into this is that the Tupac murder case is
that's why I said he Suge Knight himself.
As I'm saying, this is hanging over his head as well. So, I guess we're not getting the the verses.
Oh yeah, that Diddy verses is dead.
So, oh man, I was wondering what was happening. I was like, man, I guess because they announced it, and I'm like, it's almost end of the year. Jermaine Dupri, that's not happening. And it was weird that the album is incredible, but then like it was weird, like you said, it was the publishing, and then it was calling themselves Love, and then like just doing these weird acts, acts of generosity. So it's like you kind of knew something was like
you don't do shady business for decades, and then all of a sudden, I said that on that. I swear I said that on the last episode. Like it just didn't sit right in my spirit. No. Like something ain't right in the water.
Yeah, it seemed odd, and for him because he fought with some of these artists about their publishing for years. So now for you to just say, "Oh, I'm giving everybody the publishing,"
you've been every group he got. I think probably who the best off, Mary.
Well, the only people he I ain't say the only people, but the Locks had to like go into his office and throw chairs at him to get their publishing.
They had to pull a Ice Cube and
they had to go on the radio and like publicly like shame him for him to get his. So I mean, it's not a normal practice.
Absolutely not.
So
that's why I said it's some behind it.
But we thought it was because of Tupac shoe. That's what a lot of people thought, that you was gonna go to prison because of Tupac. That's what most people thought it was. So
this came out of left field.
Yeah, but obviously this has been going on in the background for a while because, like we were saying before, like Cassie's husband had been,
he had been kind of like
little shots and saying stuff. So how did this get tied back to Usher?
Well, it got tied back to Usher because everything, like people was like the math started mathing, and they was like, it never sat right in my spirit that a 13-year-old Usher lived with Diddy for a year, and Usher had even spoke out and kind of said a little something wasn't clean in the water.
I'm going to play the clip. We're going to play it.
Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's.
Hold on. Puffy Flavor Camp is crazy. That's wild. Like, I ain't sending my child to no Puffy Flavor Camp.
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up.
That's why I said Usher is getting thrown into everybody's drama.
So I need to go back and do my history. So why did Diddy not sign him?
I don't know.
I need to go back and do that history.
Well, I just find it, listen to that clip. I find it funny that L.A. Reid is the one that sent him there, and he's also got his own sexual assault lawsuit going on.
Well, they all do. If you got any major record label, you're for one, you have more opportunity because you're around women all the time,
and you got the power,
and you have the power dynamic. So even if and they teach you this in at work with sexual harassment and all that other stuff, even if you think it is plutonic or even if you think it is consensual, the power dynamic may already taint that already.
Yep.
Which is why they tell you do not sleep with, mess with, date with co-workers, subordinates, things of that nature.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I've been in situations like, especially when I was young and I was working at a car dealership, and it's kind of like the dudes flirt with you all day and you kind of just like try to laugh it off and try to not offend them because this is my job. I got to come here every day. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like one of those things like, what do you say? Like, how do I turn this person down without making it awkward? Like it was, somebody was saying that there's no right way to approach somebody in the gym. And they were saying that because at the end of the day, this is my safe space where I come to do what I got to do. And if I date somebody from here, now we both go to the same gym if it don't work out. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things like you just can't, you don't, like, is it a easy place to meet people at work or the gym or whatever? Yes, but a place that you really frequent or somewhere that's important, you probably want to keep that separate.
I get it. But to say there's not there is a way to do it. But I understand what you're saying. Because you're thinking about it later. Like, yeah, I mean, I understand it. See, and again, and we're right back to what we were talking about before, where you had to be there. Now you can meet people on the internet. Back then, you could not.
Yeah, you had to. This was your only opportunity.
Yeah, so it's like some of us are still operating under those rules. Like we want to meet somebody in person. So it's like, so what? Do you not date people from church because you frequent at church? Do you not date people at school because you frequent at school? Like that rule, I can't apply that rule.
I feel like it just depends on the person, and it depends on
because to me it's like we always talk about having like-minded values. So for people that go to the gym, I would assume they want somebody that also has the same value of their body. So, but yes, you do run the risk of seeing that person after you date.
Yep.
I just think that's the risk that you take. I mean, anywhere you frequent, you're going to have the same issue.
I get that, but I feel like I understand where people say these are the certain places that, no, I just want to keep my job.
All right, no.
Gym. Like, I feel like you can just say, no, I don't date nobody from work, or I don't, you know what I mean? I feel like you can do that, but you can't do it in every situation.
I understand.
You can if you want to, but I feel like
there's some places that you want to just keep to yourself. I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like a
place
gym.
where I come to.
Yeah,
you
just come to work out and go home. I totally get it. But I think you're right. I think it just depends on the person. It
does. But as far as somebody that is in a leadership role above you,
yes.
That's the main thing that they teach you. I just never would do it.
No,
never would do it. I never even
Well, you're putting yourself in harm's way.
Even going out for drinks after work and all, you know what I mean? Like people like, oh, I go to happy hour with my coworkers. I'm like, I keep my coworker life and my personal life separate for me personally.
Yeah, I remember as a manager, there was a girl that she just transferred to the store that I was managing. And at first, everything was cool. We were joking, laughing, the whole nine. It wasn't nothing inappropriate. But her boyfriend could not transfer. And as soon as, because that's what she was trying to do. She was trying to transfer with her boyfriend. As soon as her boyfriend could not transfer, she flipped. And then she started writing things that people were saying down.
Oh, wow.
So, and she was like calling HR. And I'm just like, and I was like, do you just want to go back to your old store?
Right. Because you mad because your boyfriend can't come. So you about to blow everything up?
Yeah. And then she was like, well, yeah, that would be ideal. I'm just like, all right. I said, then we'll make it happen. And I just left it at that. And then like somebody told me, she was like, well, what did you say to her? Because she wrote down everything that you just said and added more. I'm just like, look, I said, don't nobody say nothing to her. I said, we're gonna find a way for her to get out of there. But what I'm saying is, some people come in with ill intentions and will twist your words and whatever it is. You know, you may thinking that you just saying hi and bye or buying a coffee, whatever, and they will take that and twist it. So as a manager, like, you can't be fraternizing with people that are under you, because you are there to manage, and you as a manager, supervisor, whatever, you are a representation of the company. So when you are in those leadership positions, that is why it is more dangerous, because you can get the company sued.
Yeah.
So as a CEO or as an owner or as whatever, you are the face of the company. It's not just Sean Diddy Combs as the person. You are Sean Diddy Combs, CEO, whatever, Bad Boy Records, whatever. And really, if you are signing artists, those are your, I don't want to say employees. I mean, you're signing them to a contract, but you are the representation of the company. So, you know, same way that we talk about, you have to create a good work environment in our regular jobs. You got to create a good work environment there too.
And we know that when
you got alcohol, weed, drugs, ecstasy,
freak offs. That's what they say. He calls his little sexual escapades.
Yeah,
freak
bro.
offs.
No.
Crazy.
Maybe that's how you were able to operate in the 90s, but bro, it's a totally different time period.
Well,
and then now
it's coming back on you. But I think too, though, another aspect of this, other than just boss and artists or whatever, is the age gap. I feel like that plays a part too, and I feel like that's why we're very big on telling these young girls that these big age gap relationships, you really got to be careful with those, because you can end up in a situation with somebody that's looking for somebody that they can mold and manipulate, and you know what I'm saying? When you get with somebody, and you know, especially if they get you into drugs, that's because again, your mind is even more pliable.
All manipulation and control. Yeah,
man, manipulation and control. A lot of times that is what it is, and you got to be real careful.
Well, and at 19, you don't know nothing.
19, like how old was he then? He was like,
I don't know.
I forgot what their age difference is, but it's a big gap.
You said 2005.
2005.
So that was about, let's just round out 20 years ago. How old is he now? Like 50 something?
Gotta be.
Let me see.
But I'm like 19. That's crazy.
He might be pushing 60. Yeah, he's 54.
Yeah.
So that was 18 years ago. So he was,
that's crazy.
What, 36?
With a 19.
So yeah, so our age, 19. So so about a 17-year difference. And
I think too, like a lot of people need to take a look at the things that they were saying. Like even with like Carisha and Diddy, everybody, I'm so happy for Carisha and this and that, and you know, encouraging these girls to get to the bag and get with these older men. Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like
at what
you
cost?
Really got to be at what cost? You really got to be careful about that.
At what cost? That's really the conversation. Is your dignity worth the bag?
Man.
And to some women it is.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, I'll do this for a couple years, then I'm set for life. Right? Because with her, it was like, oh, I'm the new Oprah. Yeah, that was a conversation that I know that they had in private. He told her that. I'm gonna make you the new Oprah. Then, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the new Oprah. Like I know that he said that to her. I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna give you your own show. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
You see, she done got hip hop podcast of the year 2 times in a row,
and she didn't deserve it. Not this year. Last year she did. Last year I think she was at least. This year, no.
I feel like you the hate. It's up to, everybody got opinion.
I don't even remember because we did a couple, we did some of her shows.
Yeah, like we talked about some of her shows.
Last year. This year, I don't remember any of them making no noise.
I know she had
Money
Bag Yo.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't remember.
But what I'm saying is, I don't remember. I vividly remembered some Drink Champs episodes that we were like, all right, this was we at least got, you know what I mean? And Nori's not the best interviewer, but as far as his platform.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not hating on her work ethic and whatever, but last year, yes, I think she was in the running. This year, I didn't really see her.
I definitely think we need to have a serious conversation of the notion of getting to the bag, because a lot of times, like you said, people are
willing to give up their
are
dignity.
Encouraging people to sacrifice their morals or whatever. Because I hear that a lot. Even with the Kim K's and the this and the that, the fallback is always, well, at least she got paid. At least she did At least he getting it.
What's the good book say? What's the use? What is it if you gain the whole world but you lose your soul? Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I look at it. But I mean, my money can't buy you everything. At the end of the day, other question,
it can't heal your trauma, because she got all the things that she put in that shit is trauma that she gonna have to really heal from for the rest of her life.
But we're in a society that we put a price tag on everything.
Absolutely.
So it's like you were saying, when somebody slip and fall, I'm a sue. The very first thing somebody said, I'm suing.
I'm finna get paid.
Bruh, can you go to the hospital first? Can you get healed? Can you see if you ain't broke nothing yet?
If you know people that have gotten paid, the money, I won't even say the money wasn't worth it, but I know for my mom, she got injured at work. Mm-hmm. She got back issues to this day that she's going to have forever. Yeah, you got paid, but that money is gone. You feel what I'm saying? It's just there's no monetary value on your mobility in certain things.
And when you dishonest, that money go in one hand and go out the other.
Especially if you dishonest about it.
For sure.
And even the people who see like the boy who fell out that ride, they're like, oh, his family gonna get paid. He is gone.
Yeah. Or the civil rights stuff that we got going on when somebody gets shot and they're like, oh, the family got $10 million. Yeah, but somebody's dead. You know what I'm saying? To the point I see people on the internet, oh, I wish police officer, to the point where some of these people are actually inciting police officers to do it.
Police
hit me,
brutality.
choke me, you know what I mean? So I can get paid. I'm gonna sue the city. I'm just like, bruh, but you're just,
it ain't worth it.
What do you have to do to get the money? Mm-hmm. You gonna put yourself in a line of danger and almost get killed just so you can get paid? I don't know.
I think too, that's one of the things that with all of this that Cassie's, allegedly went through. I feel like.
See, but I want to say this too, but men in those positions, and I'm not saying that Cassie's lying. I believe what Cassie's saying.
Oh, absolutely.
But men that are in those situations or in those positions with power, you are going to have women that are going to come around and you are the bag. Mm-hmm. Whether you give it or whether they take it. And whether they manipulate the situation or whether they blackmail you, you have to know that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So for him to create that environment, that's on Diddy. I'm not blaming that on Cassie at all. But I wanted to bring that up because there's people that are victim blaming Cassie now.
Yeah, right? They're basically like, oh, well, you were old enough to know, you agreed to do it, you wanted to live that lifestyle, and basically that's what you get.
Right. So do you believe that the benefits of the lifestyle outweigh, do you think that she should have just been quiet and just stuck with what she got?
Absolutely not. I don't feel like that. I feel like,
what do you say to the people that say that she knew what she was getting herself into?
I feel like she was a young 19-year-old girl, first record deal, impressionable, and I think people kind of discredit or discount how impressionable you are at that age, especially when you are getting into an industry like that. I don't care what nobody say. I don't think you are prepared for what the industry comes with. I ain't even in the industry, and I know it's crazy.
Well, and we got to realize her first hit. Everybody said she couldn't sing.
Yeah, she wasn't talented.
But it was still, I want to say it was a #1 hit.
Absolutely. Me and you.
Yeah. Still gets, I think I think it still gets played to this day.
That song was iconic. We can't lie. Like,
but we have to realize she didn't really do much.
mm-mm.
I mean, that was Diddy. I'm sure he put a lot of money into it. I mean, the production, the arrangement.
Ryan Leslie did his thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So some people will say, man, like, he changed your life.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, I do not owe you to allow you to abuse me.
To do that,
in exchange for a record deal and a better life. You get what I'm saying? So it's a slippery slope. And I think people just kind of always want to just, oh, well, you knew what you was getting into. And it's like, she's still a victim.
Now, do you think because she was around for the 10 years, do you think that is there any accountability on her part for not leaving, not speaking up, especially if in those arenas where you're seeing him maybe doing it to other people?
No. I mean, because at that point, when you're a victim, you can't, you know what I'm saying, you're in it. It can take people a long time to get out of it. Most people who leave abusive situations end up going back multiple times. And a lot of times, they end up dead before they could get out. You get what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people need to really kind of research abuse,
trauma bonding,
and all. I think they really need to really research that to really be able to kind of like understand and have more empathy for people that are in that situation. For me, I grew up, my mom worked in a battered women's shelter. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, she would work with these women and be getting them on their feet, and they would take their kids and go back. You know what I'm saying? Then they come back to the shelter. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think people just kind of don't understand. And we in the social media era where everybody just want to have a hot take and everybody thinks everything is about a bag. You know?
I agree. Last question before we move on to the next one. Do you feel like it would have been more impactful for her to file charges? And do you believe... No, I'll start with that question and then I'll ask the next question. And then we're done with this topic.
I don't think so. I think it would be the same response, to be honest. And that's one thing that I'd be tired of hearing people say, like, man, I could see if she would have filed charges, y'all still wouldn't have believed her. Let's just be all the way honest.
All right, but I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying as far as impact. Do you believe
on Diddy?
Yes. I feel like it would have been because he would have had to go through a deposition.
I feel like he wouldn't have been able to settle out of court. Like, I feel like once the prosecutors if they feel like they got enough evidence to prosecute, you could change your mind if you want to. It don't matter.
If the state wants to prosecute, then they'll prosecute.
Regardless, even if you change your mind.
I feel like it would have been because, again, then now you are getting statements. Now you're getting people to the
witnesses,
stand. You're getting witnesses. I think, and I believe more people would have been emboldened to come out. You still have more people might be emboldened to come out now, but I don't know what that law, how far that law goes.
Well, it's about to expire in the next week.
For her.
I thought it was just in general, the act, in general.
What you mean?
In general, they said that act was getting ready to expire. They have a year, I think.
I think it's based on the actual crime itself, or like what you're, you know what I mean?
Let me see. I mean, I don't want to speak out of
turn. Well, and I don't want to be wrong either.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the way that I read it, it seemed like,
from what I thought it was saying was like when, I'm gonna let you look at it.
Let me see.
Because what's it called again? It was called
It's the Adult Survivors Act, I want to say.
Because I would think that would be specific to each. Okay, so it's in New York. So New York Adult Survivor Act is set to expire next week, ending a 1-year period in which people file civil suits for alleged instances of sexual abuse if the statute of limitations on the incident had expired, resulting in lawsuits brought against high-profile figures Donald Trump. Okay.
So I guess it was just a 1 year period. That's what I was reading it as.
Yeah, let me see. So Adult Survivors Act took effect November 24th of 2022 and is set to expire November 24th, 2023. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you are right. So to me,
that was a window of opportunity.
window of opportunity for her.
Yeah. For anybody.
I know, but now, I mean, that's next week.
Yeah.
So, but they may not, because they may have signed NDAs.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. This is my theory, is that, like you said, that went into effect in 2022. And I feel like statute of limitation is gone. And I think that's where she kind of was like,
I got to do it now or
I'm
never.
finna do it. And I think maybe there was some negotiation behind the scenes or whatever. And for whatever reason, she still came out with it. Maybe, I don't know if he went.
Well, because he said no.
Yeah.
That's why.
So then my
But
thing
this
is that genuine? Like, were you genuinely wanting to speak out against him? Because if he would have said yes and gave whatever the
would've been
number
quiet.
was,
It would have been
would you-
quiet.
But I mean, it's still alleged that she was behind the scenes, even trying to.
This is what I believe. I think what you're saying is right. I think she came to him. She said, we can either settle this behind closed doors, or I'm doing a tell-all book, which is why he said that he was getting blackmailed. She gave a number. He said, no, I'll give you the 8 figures. She said, that's not enough. She said, and I'm going to give you some time. If you don't do it, then I'm going to do it. It started getting closer to the end of the little expiration date. She said, came to him again, said, look, I'm about to, whatever. He said, this is the offer that's on the table. She said, nope. All right, cool. I'm going to expose it. She exposed it. It turned up the heat, and he upped the offer.
Because it was open and shut immediately.
Yep.
Immediately. Soon as it came out, before we could even get on the mic, settled.
Yep. Because he saw the backlash and he saw the other people talking. Now, they can't say nothing because they signed, what I believe is what happening. They've signed NDAs.
To get their public.
They
back.
cannot talk.
Or whoever. It probably ain't even just artists. Probably other people too that done sign. He done got people to sign NDAs. So
I'm sure he does sign.
do you think this is going to go away for Diddy, or do you think this is going to kind of get him canceled?
The problem with this is that other people that are not artists may talk. Girlfriends, lovers, security guards.
The girl Gina, the one that Carisha kept arguing with, she said that he was abusive towards her. So I think I don't know. I don't think this is over with.
It's not over with. I just don't know what the statute of limitations for those particular incidences are. And the problem is a friend a friend can't press charges. Like, if we're talking about her, like Carisha,
I'm talking about
I'm just saying,
for Diddy in
no, I know
the industry and the media.
But what I'm saying is, in order for it to get big, the people will have to talk. And he has way too much money for people to talk. And I don't see anybody going. I don't see, like, all the smoking guns that would have been able to cause damage. I think they either have already signed NDAs or going to get bought out. Who, like,
he gonna buy everybody out? Yeah.
Unless we're talking about like a Little Kim that has been with him. I mean, but she hasn't really been around for, like, who's close to him that would be able to speak out.
Kim Porter gone.
Kim is gone. Carisha definitely ain't gonna say nothing. Like, so who would it be? Danny Can. I mean, they all were like super quiet except for old girl.
She said that she didn't, but I think she said that she was trying to convince them not to, but I don't know if they did or not.
I'm sure they did. Because D Woods, that's the one that's in. That's one of the Dirty Money, right, or no?
No, that was Don.
That's Don. That's right. Okay. Well, I mean, because some of them are still working with Diddy.
Yeah, as far as I know.
So, and some people will say, well, if it was that bad, why are you still working with him?
Because Diddy don't let nobody out of contracts. And we know that.
Well, Dirty Money technically is a different entity. And they gave them another opportunity. So you can't really make them right. You can tell them that they can't go elsewhere, but you can't really make them make music.
Okay, but
and they were just on his last album.
I mean, that's
just like Mace. Mace hasn't produced a record, but Diddy wouldn't let him out of his deal.
Yeah, I think he
that's different. I'm gonna say they're willingly, but I don't think they were forced to make those songs. I don't think they were forced to make that Last Train to Paris album.
I mean, how else you gonna make money?
Well,
again, that's what I'm saying. People like him get away with this type of behavior because you can. You do it because you can, and people are dependent on you, and you hold, like she said, you hold my whole career and everything in your hand.
I totally understand. I don't know I don't know what the legalities of that are, but yeah, I don't know. Do I think this is to answer the question, do I believe this is the end of this? No.
Yeah, Diddy got some shit on his hands.
No, because again, when people see that when they get wind of how much money that they think that she got, oh yeah, people, even if it ain't true, people gonna be making up a whole bunch of shit, and it's gonna sound true. Now this is the dangerous part, because now you don't know what's true and what's not true. Because even if it sounds like what she said, people are gonna say yeah.
I don't really care. At this point, there isn't much more that could be said that could make you look any more disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, the foundation is laid. Somebody already spoke out about you, whether you settled it or not.
It'll be interesting.
You know?
I think it's also be interesting what comes about from the Tupac murder case as well.
We shall see.
I don't know if anybody gonna be talking about that, but we'll see. But Diddy, yeah, I don't know, man.
I really hate to see it, but I'm actually not surprised. I hate that the rumors were true. What
I think may happen, I think it may go a Russell Simmons route where it's a lot of loud noise at the beginning and then it fizzles out and you don't hear about it ever again.
Yeah.
I haven't, because that was a whole thing, and then I haven't heard about it since.
Me neither.
Just
other than people bringing it up in reference to,
if you got money to settle, then that's what people are going to do. They're going to just settle.
If you got money,
settle.
That's why they out here a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! All right, let's get into new music. First up, we got Pardi with his diss song to Meg Thee Stallion.
What's the name of it?
It's called The Person. The person,
because the last line was, I'm not talking to Meg Thee Stallion, I'm talking to Meg the person.
So in this diss, he accuses Meg of lying and telling half-truths.
Uh-huh.
He claims he found out about her sexual history with the rest of the world. So, she did the interview with Gayle King saying, no, I did not sleep with Tory.
Yep.
And then on the stand, it came out that she actually had.
Yep.
And he
Which
also...
we knew that. How did he not know that?
And he also...
Nigga, why?
He also basically said that, in a nutshell, that she's toxic and she needs to do some healing.
And
basically.
she's has a substance problem.
Yeah.
Which we all put that together as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so my question is, now that we have heard from both parties, no pun intended.
Well, first of all, was it a bop or a flop? Did you like this?
It was a flop to me a little bit.
It was a flop.
Okay, I was like,
it was a flop. I like what he was saying. I don't know. I think it's kind of corny when you do that though.
Yeah, and the whole line about you got lipo and now you in the gym, and
it was kind of corny. But I get it though. I get it. Like, I don't like liars either, so I get it. Like, you trying to but I don't know. It was kind of like unprovoked. I don't know why he decided to do it like
she
this.
dissed him on Cobra.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you know what?
She dissed him on Cobra and said that he cheated in her bed, and he said that's not true. And basically, he said
that she's lying and trying to that
she's lying and basically doing the same thing that was done to her to him. And the reason why he cheated was because she was doing her first, and basically she went out of the country and didn't call him for a couple of days, so he figured that they was over. I can't stand people that do that.
I don't like when relationships are played out in this records. I don't
either, but one thing about it, like that line about her being out of the country and not calling, so I figured we was over. So that mean you go cheat?
Well, is that when he cheated?
I mean, that's what he's saying. He like, you did you and I did me bigger. Like, what? So you assume that we was over, and then you say, but it wasn't in your bed.
Yeah, I don't like the lick back culture, but
the lick back culture. No, for real, you right.
I like the content. I just I didn't know the context of it. I didn't know that this was a response. So that does change my answer a little bit.
Yeah, she dissed him on Cobra.
It was an okay record. I just think from the public side, not from my side, I thought it was an okay record. Because you know what? This is not the first time that we've heard this.
I don't think it was meant to be a bop. I think he just kind of wanted to reveal the information.
Yeah.
Like he literally was just like, I'm like, nigga, this is basically just a poem.
Yeah. But I'm never gonna listen to this song again. But
Ever
again, I like what he was saying. It was I got a better picture of his side because it did seem like he was holding her down.
Okay, so that's my question. Now that we've heard both parties,
and when we're saying both parties, you talking about Meg and his?
You got Meg's side and her diss, and then his little side and his diss. Who do you believe more so?
Oh, I think they both have. I don't know. I at this point, I really can't trust what comes out of Meg's mouth. I just can't.
Okay, so you siding with Pardi? You think he?
But I mean, it sounded like that he admitted to cheating, though, right?
Yeah, he just said that it wasn't in her bed. That's a lie.
But you still cheated. Maybe just she wrote it because it sounded better. I don't know.
Maybe it was just the bar. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it had to rhyme. I don't know. I tend to believe what he's saying.
I personally believe that it's always three sides to a story.
Oh, for sure.
Your side, his side, and the truth. Like, I really do believe that. So, like, I feel like some of what he said, like you said, aligns with what we've already kind of know about Meg and things to me that she already kind of revealed about herself in a way.
Somewhat.
You know what I mean?
Just her best friend, not her, but just people around her, some of the record, like what I've heard about her has not been very complimentary as a person. I'm not talking about Meg as an artist. I'm not talking about Meg as a star. I'm talking about as a person. What I've been hearing from people close to her as far as business wise, that alcohol problem, a liar, manipulates situations different times. So what he's saying, I mean, that lines up with all of that. And I mean, they were dating.
But I feel like that's kind of, in a way, I feel like that's kind of the easy way to get people on your side, is to kind of go with what the masses is already saying. Because it's like everybody already say people are automatically going to believe it. You know what I'm saying? So there's that part of it too. Like,
but if there wasn't specifics behind what he was saying, then I would agree with you. But he's giving what his experience is and saying like, I really did care about you. I mean, in the song, I think he said that he wanted to propose to her. But I guess, I mean, but at the same time, like, bro, like,
sound good.
maybe you didn't see it, but we, like, for me, it looked like a publicity stunt to me from the outside looking in. When they first said they were dating, like it was in the middle of all this Tory stuff. So to me, it was kind of like, I don't know. It just didn't seem
genuine.
It didn't seem genuine to me. It seemed more like a not even a distraction, like almost like PR. Like it came across the same way that like when Lori and
Michael B.
Jordan was dating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I'm gonna put we gonna like put this out to the world to make it seem like we're a couple, to kind of quiet some of the noise, quiet some of the I don't date black women noise, and then when that dies down, then we're gonna have this quote unquote breakup, and then we're gonna go separate ways. And that's kind of what it seemed like here. Like, hey, we are both artists. I got a lot of turmoil going on right now. Me being with you can kind of make you hot. And then when this Tory thing die down, then we gonna kind of like split up a little bit.
I didn't get that.
That's what I got.
I didn't get that, but at the same time, I feel like Meg definitely has her issues, and I feel like people have already said that. And I definitely feel like with her coming into the industry, which we already had a whole conversation with how highly weird the industry could be. I feel like where she was in that space of, you know, losing her mom, not having nobody. Mm-hmm. I feel like you just get caught up in the life. And I feel like I don't know, I personally feel like from what I can see, it looked like she trying to, get on the straight and narrow.
Hopefully.
You don't really see her the way that we saw her before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, but again, in his rap, he said, actually, what'd he say? Heal your soul, and not just your image. You know what I'm saying? So again, it could just be an image. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I ain't got no reason to hate on the girl, but I definitely feel like people are going to use this situation to try to discredit the Tory conviction. But at the end of the day, one thing he never said up in that damn rap was that she lied about getting shot.
Correct.
So let's just put that there.
Correct. Well, and I don't know if he would even be able to say if she did or not. But yeah, if you wanted to put a nail in the coffin, that would have been the nail in the coffin. And he didn't.
He didn't. Like, so let's just be all the way. So I don't know why. Oh, you already seen what happened with Tory. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with that.
No. And honestly, I think people don't care.
I think with the situation with them, I feel like it's a situation that we've talked about a lot of times in relationships is you need to be the person to tell somebody than them finding out on their own, because it hits different. We done said that multiple times. Like, I don't care what the image you gonna put out there to the world. I know the truth, or I should at least know the truth as your partner. If we really locked in, like, I should know what the truth is. I feel like in that situation, she didn't feel like she was gonna have to tell the truth, and then you ended up in a situation where you do have to tell the truth. So you probably did lie and say no, da 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 da. Now you in a situation where now you on trial,
and that's crazy.
The truth got to come out now.
That's wild. Yeah, like, why didn't you just tell him? And then why did you lie on TV? I think that's why a lot of people thought she was lying, because she was inconsistent with the story. And I mean, we have to be honest with that. She was inconsistent. I feel like she was, but in some parts, not the whole thing. In some parts, so
no, I mean, as far as like with her sexual history, yes, and I feel like it's because that's one thing. One reason that people don't come forward, because you are going to be on trial,
right?
You as like your history, your this, your that, that's also going on trial. Not what this person did to you,
right? Well, not. But even then, she was inconsistent with the story then too, because she was trying to protect Tory at the beginning. Until she saw that he flipped on her, and then she's like, "Well, damn. Well, I'm gonna just tell it. I'm gonna tell it." And I still don't know what happened with her and her friend. That's still weird. That to me is so weird. That whole dynamic between her and Kelsey, and at one point it seemed like Kelsey was on Tory's side, and then she didn't show up to trial, and then she didn't want to testify. That is so weird to me.
I think from what people were saying, wasn't they both sleeping with the boy?
That was never confirmed. I don't know if that's the truth or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be. But if that's the case, what does that mean, that you don't testify because you got shot? I don't know. It's just that whole situation is just weird. It's just weird to me. But
yeah, I just hope again that she can get genuine people around her. And I feel like it's kind of hard once you already in the industry. Like, you see people like, you got Rihanna, she still got her same friends from the mud.
But doesn't that, do you think that speaks to somebody's character though?
What?
If you still got day ones with you, even though you're still as big as you are?
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, that's, so what I'm hearing these words from him saying, like you said, like, you need to clean up your soul and not just your image. Like, we got to stop focusing on what we represent, who we represent, and making sure that we're our authentic selves. And I think if Meg did that, like, people were rooting for Meg. Like, people still are rooting for Meg.
Oh yeah, I'm still rooting for Meg.
And she's been championing mental health and stuff and things like that. So and it's not just her. I think it's a societal issue that a lot of people are operating in dualities. You're this person in front of everybody, and you're this person when you go home. And you need to be the same person in front of everybody and the same person you are when you go home. Obviously, you may interact with people differently, but you shouldn't be two totally different people. And unfortunately, as an artist, some people, I would assume, feel like they have to live up to who that person is and not be yourself. But really, we connect with the artists that are themselves.
Absolutely.
I don't want to deal with an act or with an entertainment. Like, you know what I mean? But I understand in commercial and industry, and when you have to sell a certain amount of records, that you have to live up to that, you know. But I don't know. I wish her the best.
Same.
I wish her the best.
I think this is a situation that both should be moved on from, but I don't know why they both decided to bring it up in music. But again, like you said,
bad publicity is good publicity. Some people think it's gonna catch something. Some people think it's gonna get some buzz, some notoriety. I mean, and really, it will work for him because a lot of people don't know who Pardi is outside of Meg's boyfriend, and then they may go listen to his music, and you may do that. But again, like we talked about before, is it worth it? Do you want people to come listen to your music because you dissed Meg, or do you want people to come to music because you put out a really good album? I don't know.
I don't think dissing Meg is gonna work out well for him.
Not in the long term.
Mm-mm.
Well, and you know what? Again, I think because of this tour, I don't think people really care.
Yeah.
I think kind of like we talk like with Jada, like we done talking about Jada. I think a lot of people are done talking about Meg. To be honest with you, I think that Tory thing kind of put a bad taste in a whole bunch of people's mouths. I just think people, I don't think her name doesn't garnish the influence, or not influence, but I don't know. I really think that left a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And at first I thought it was just a man, but there's a lot of women that I've seen that have kind of commented and being like they not really rock with her anymore anyway. So I don't know. I wish her the best. I didn't like the song. The song was okay. I didn't know she dissed him on Cobra, but what really will help her is just put out some good music.
That's it.
Put out some good music,
Put
and
out
then all of that,
a good bop, and
all of this will go away.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Put out a good bop, and ain't nobody gonna worry about what Pardi had to say. Next up, Andre 3000 dropped
The damn flute album.
a flute album. How we feel about it?
That was okay, I guess. I mean, it was
like
ambient music. I mean, I guess I can play it when I'm at work or when I'm cleaning up.
I'm not gonna lie, I personally love Black people getting into the ambient music spaces, and it's not just with this Andre album. I've seen like on TikTok and like Spotify lists that are coming out of people putting together lists of ambient music, because
Yeah.
it's a lane that I don't feel like our people are really in.
What I liked is more or less what he said and not less the album itself. I like that he said that he didn't rap because he didn't feel authentic in rapping. And if he did not,
yeah.
and he said, if I don't feel authentic in doing it, I don't want to do it. So,
feel that.
I mean, because we got to realize Andre is 48. But, like I said before, we need to stop putting the age cap on hip hop. Like, other artists and other genres can age gracefully. Like, you got Journey and a whole bunch of like Sting,
but it don't work for hip hop, and I think that's.
We
literally just said the same thing about Drake. We tired of hearing him talk about this and that and whatever.
No, we just said we wanted him to mature.
I know, but this is the thing: when you mature, you can mature, but I can guarantee it's not gonna pop the way.
Doesn't have to.
It don't. But at the end of the day, I think that's what people sometimes put their music out for. Like
with Jay, like when he put out 444. That wasn't typical from what he usually put it out, but people liked it because it was a more mature tone from him. So it can work. It's just it really depends on who it is. But like you said, I am a proponent for people growing, venturing out, and trying out different artistic mediums.
Yeah, I like that. That's why I said I like, that's one thing why Beyonce got longevity, because she's always on the post of something different. She's not just, I'm going to put out traditional R&B albums over and over and over and over again and expect people just to go buy it because it's me.
Right.
Like, you feel what I'm saying? So
right.
That's why, honestly, my favorite Drake album lately from the last ones that he came out with was the House album. That was my favorite one, I ain't gonna lie. Like, that I burnt the brakes off that album. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like artists need to venture out more. A lot of people laughed at Drake for that album. You feel what I'm saying? But I just feel like, again, people want artists to venture out, but then
Part of artistry is experimenting and trying new things. So I think that this will open the door, not to say just in that space, but open the door for artists to try different things. But I just think that we got to stop putting a limit on art. Art is art. Let people do it. Hip hop artists, you don't got to be 40, don't got to be 30 and below. I mean, Drake is 38. So we got to stop. Like, this is, we have to stop putting boundaries on how people create. And that's in the space and that's outside of space. So I'm hoping that this does open the door for more. I know, like I was saying, like even with Nas dropped when he was 50. Like, there's people that are doing things that haven't been done before, and I like it because other artists are able to grow with their music. For us, we feel like once you get typecasted, you have to keep producing the same type
or they
of
just
music.
end up transitioning out to either like, the Ice Cubes or doing movies or producing or just going on tours, playing their old music. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's always like this weird transition to just,
which is fine. And I
or
love
you're like
venturing
Drake
out,
and you trying to stay relevant in what's new.
which is totally fine. I just think we got to give people the room to grow. And if we want people to be mature, you got to give people the room to experiment. But that's and I get, this is a good conversation we can have on a different day. But that's why capitalism is bad in this space, because like for Drake, if he's slated to sell or stream 15 million albums, you don't really have the space to experiment, because you're like, if I deviate and if I don't do well, then the people that invested in this music are going to lose out on their money. So it's not really my creative space. It's I have obligations that I have to hit. So if they want Drake, I have to give them the Drake that they've known and not experiment with it. So
I think that's the part that people be leaving out when they be like judging, certain artists and stuff like that. I seen a post not too long ago, like, how come none of these female rappers rap about motherhood? And I'm like, y'all niggas not gonna buy it or stream it. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay the bills. You have to, like you said, meet certain quotas. Like, let's just be honest.
Expectations. See, but that's the problem is, and we said it before, we're not the ones that's consuming the music. So we're at a point where now you're no longer making the music for us. It is mainstream. It is white America. It's a suburb. So what was for us is not now for us. So now you're having to appease a crowd that does not look like you. So that's why you get the over sexualization, the murder, the drill music, because it's sensationalizing something that they don't get to see every day. So it's intriguing to them when they don't have to deal with the ramifications of it. So
I feel it. All right, other albums that's out. Chris Brown dropped 11/11. Did you listen to it?
I did.
What you think?
Do we got sleepers? Because do we got our picks?
Oh, you got a sleeper pick?
Yeah, because it's cuffing season.
Okay, go ahead.
It's
Off of that
Midnight
album?
Freak. Midnight Freak.
Oh, it's called Midnight Free?
There's a song with Future on there too. You ain't know I don't like Future, but
Oh,
the song
Lord.
that he got with Future.
I don't like him either.
Listen. But it's a good song. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called, hold on, let me see. Let me pull up the track list one time. Where's my YouTube music? There we go. 11/11. It's not sensational. That's the one you were talking about earlier. It's called That's On You.
Okay.
That's On You at Midnight Freak.
Okay.
Just in time for the holidays. Just in time for your little boo thing. It's raining outside and it's cuffing season.
I'm going to give my sleeper pick to an album I had forgot about, but I really burnt the brakes off of, which is October London, The Rebirth of Marvin. I feel like that album was so slept on. So,
okay.
There's a lot of songs on there.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a song that you would give to?
I would say Back to Your Place. Oh, Do What You Do. The whole thing. I'm sorry, the whole thing, but I'll say Back to Your Place. But that whole album, if you haven't listened to October London, somebody was like, man, how come I haven't heard of him? And I'm like, I forgot about that album. I'm gonna put that for my sleeper picks.
Okay, and then he also had a song with Friday on there too. That was really good. I really like
Chris?
Friday. Mm-hmm.
I like him too.
I like the different sounding. But yeah, definitely you guys already know I'm in my vibe bag. So those two for sure.
That's why I was here for that Andre album, because I'm like, I've been getting to the place where I get home and I'm like, I'm asking Alexa to play smooth jazz. Like, I'm trying to just chill and vibe. And I don't necessarily, like, we already know a lot of the new R&B is like sad girl music.
Emo.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I kind of want to vibe without having to listen to Woe Is Me.
Well, Ari Lennox just dropped a song. It's called Get Close. So
Okay.
I'm gonna check it out after we
check
get
it out.
off, because it just dropped today. So
I can't wait. I already know it's the vibe.
well, it sounds like it is. I mean, it's called Get Close. This is the R&B I like. Get me the cuffing season R&B. Mm-hmm. Cause y'all, you can't be getting close to no emo R&B. Oh, what was interesting is, did you hear the interview with Summer Walker where they said the guy was asking her why does she pick the men that she picks, and she said that she needs inspiration for new music.
Oh, God, girl. Girl, boo.
She picked the men she picks so she could write about them in their albums.
She was serious? I hope she was.
I think she
I
was.
hope it was a key.
I think she was. I don't know.
Poor Summer. Ain't she back with
I don't know.
Meech or whatever? Girl.
I don't know.
Somebody said she was pregnant too.
She may be.
Girl, they young. They young.
Did anything else drop?
Let
me see.
Not that I know of. You put me on that, Ari.
Did anything that we missed? Let me see.
We gonna remember after the episode.
Oh,
y'all.
the Drake.
Oh,
the Drake dropped.
I mean, it wasn't really a drop. It was just kind of like a deluxe edition. So,
and Rick Ross and Meek Mill dropped too, but there's not really much to say about that. Drake. Okay, let me say this about Drake. So it was Scary Hours edition of for all the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 6 new songs that are on there. Red Button, Stories About My Brother, The Shoe Fits, Wick Man, Evil Ways featuring J. Cole, and You Broke My Heart. Out of those 6, did you have a favorite out of those 6?
I'm gonna be all the way honest with y'all. I ain't listened to him.
The Drake fan didn't listen to him? Are you serious?
Stop. I don't like that shit. For sure, bro.
I
don't like that shit.
Man, I hate to say this.
All right, look, I'll give my...
Wait, no, I'm gonna have to go back. I said this album was about... It's a not. I ain't listen to this album again.
I told you that. I told you. That's what everybody was trying to say. And it's 29 songs. And we talk about Chris Brown, his 45. He had 29.
I love Drake, but this one wasn't it. Go ahead.
It sounded more like a playlist than it did an album.
Tell me about the new 6. Which
Oh,
one
and Take Care is 12 years old today. Hold on, let's give.
Now that's the album right there.
I give him a round of applause for that.
That's his best album. My personal favorite of his album is Nothing Was the Same, but I can be honest and say Take Care is his
Nothing
best.
Was the Same. I would agree with you. But
that's my personal favorite. But Take Care was just...
They're 1 and 2.
Chef kiss.
They're 1 and 2. What I will say is I did like the 6 songs. There's a lot more rapping than what he did on the album.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that the producing was dope. He had Alchemist. He had just Drake's always good on his
I was about to say, he don't miss with
Drake's always
production.
good on his. What I did not like,
and that's why I originally said that album was a bop, because the production hit. It always hit.
What I did not like, and I believe it's on Wick Man, which I knew it was going to be. I think it's on Wick Man. He threw another shot at Pusha T, man. Just let it go, man. Just let it go.
You take that L?
Dog, how long ago was that? Your son's about to be in kindergarten. And you still dissing this man.
I told you, I really feel like Drake has some...
Let it go.
He has some real deep
go.
feelings about his baby mama situation, and I think that's why he ain't gonna be able to let this go with Pusha.
Let it go, man.
Because that was like the basis of Pusha's diss, was outing who his baby mama was.
Drake
and we see how men act when they hate their baby mama, or they hate who they made their baby mama. They get real funny acting. He ain't gonna let that go.
Just let it go, man.
Yeah.
Now, and I will say, Evil Ways by J. Cole, a dope record. I like their synergy. They have really good energy to the point where now I guess they're doing a tour together. That would be a dope tour.
You gonna try to get your ticket and go?
It depends. If they come out the sack, they probably won't. It'll probably be in Oakland.
I ain't going.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the price. If it's,
I done seen Drake like 5 times now, but my thing is like, if I don't like the album, it ain't no reason to go.
well, I mean, but he has good sets. I don't think he'll do just the new stuff.
That's what they mostly do.
But because when I saw his saw the videos from his last show, it was he had the little Drake, right? Or the Drake, the younger Drake, or he did some of the Take Care stuff, some of the older stuff. I mean, I think he's gonna do a lot of his other stuff. But you've already seen him, so that's different.
I've already seen him,
You've
and
already
like
seen
it
him,
was
yeah.
like when I went to Beyonce. Like, did she do some other stuff? Yes, but that was the Renaissance tour. So that be to me when people was going to the tour. If you didn't like the album, why you go to the tour? What make you think you gonna like the show?
Because what's the name of the tour? It's all a Blur tour. So I don't know. I'll have to read it and see what it is because if it's majority of his new stuff, but I would think that when you have a catalog, most artists will do the classics. As long as you do the classics, I think that's cool. I think that's cool.
I've seen
I don't
J.
know.
Cole.
I'll
And
see.
when I saw J. Cole, it was like when he first went on his first tour. So when he was still having like them intimate tours, like he was like right there.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gonna be able to top that.
No, and we talked about that before. You had to be there.
You had to be there.
Yeah,
and
that's how
I
I
really
feel.
be thinking, I'm like, dang, I know I got some videos from that, but I'm like, who knows? It was a vibe.
That's how I feel about Eric Bellinger before he got big. Like we went to a couple of his shows.
He about to be out here.
Yeah, but now it's like, see, again, it's like
Ace of Spades.
It's
with Zay
we
France.
were there with like Cuff of Season 1, like early.
Mm-hmm.
So you felt like you were like, I don't know. It just it feels when you early into art, it just feels different. Same with like when Miguel first dropped.
Yeah. Who I saw Miguel.
But I
a
knew
few
about
times.
Miguel before he dropped. And that's what we're talking about. Like you had to be there. That era, like you would put on, like I put on a few girls onto Miguel. And they were like, oh, I remember like you told me about Miguel before he dropped. And when he dropped, like it just, I don't know.
Yeah,
It just,
I
it
still remember
connects
the
you.
nigga that put me on J. Cole. I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I'm trying to tell
I ain't
you.
gonna lie.
I'm trying to tell you. It is different. And now like with Miguel, like when he had the whole hooks in it, I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
I think too, like that's one of, I mean, it's off subject, low key, but that whole like list of the Cheesecake Factory and all of that. I think, and this is the thing, it's not that women are ungrateful for basic stuff. I think women really just appreciate being put on new stuff. I really think that's the big thing for women. Like, if you take me somewhere I ain't been before, like that's gonna go a long way. Do it gotta be expensive? Not necessarily.
Yeah, just something new.
You know what I'm saying? But like,
Well,
go to Cheesecake Factory.
because cheesecake is generic, right?
You know, it's basic.
And when I wouldn't say basic.
Okay, that's not a good word for it.
It's easy. It's easy. You don't have to put any effort into going to Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
Like if I find somewhere new, that means that I researched it, I looked for it, I put an effort.
Or like, you know, you kind of want to see like that person's taste. And so it's like Cheesecake Factory is kind of like, I mean, if that's your taste, okay. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I think sometimes, and I'm not saying this is the case, but I think sometimes men take girls that place like that because it's a big menu. And like you don't want to take somebody somewhere where they may not like it or they may not appreciate what they're
like my homegirl said it best. They got 48 pages of trash. So let's start there. But I think too, the issue on that is people are like, why are y'all going out with people that y'all don't like know at least a little? Like, I think we need to bring back talking on the phone all night. Like, bring that back, because it's like I feel like people kind of like, I ain't dating in this generation or what's going on now, but I think they like match online, message back and forth, and then like you want to link. And like you've never even talked to this person on the phone. You just meeting up. So of course you don't know what type of place they might want to go to. You don't know anything. Like bring back all night phone conversations. Because sometimes the way people like explain how they link with somebody, I'm like, I would have probably thought that person could possibly be a serial killer still. And you went. on a date with this person. I see why you only going to a coffee shop. You don't even know them.
And there's some people that want to talk in person. So I mean, I get it, but I agree with you. I agree with you.
Bring back talking and get like you ain't asked me like, what's your favorite food? If I say Chinese food, that's not a hint and clue why we at Cheesecake Factory. People ain't putting no effort in. It's weird out here.
Well, there's reasons.
It's really weird out. I feel like on both ends it's really weird out here. Like
there's reasons. There's reasons for it.
Very weird out here. But anyways,
dang, we should have got. That's what me. I'm mad that we skipped last week because I wanted to go through that list.
Oh yeah, we missed that. We missed that.
We can still do the list, but
I think talk about it.
I think it passed. I think it passed now.
Yeah,
it passed. It was an interesting list. I didn't know Cheesecake was even. I didn't think Cheesecake was that bad.
Well, when people kept talking about it, like Kate would talk about, oh, see, these girls, they want y'all act like y'all too good for Cheesecake Factory. I'm like, why are we leaving out the fact that Cheesecake Factory is not good? Like, we just gonna skip over that part?
But most people go to Cheesecake for the ambiance and for the look. It does look nice in Cheesecake.
Them slippery ass floors.
Look, it's nice in Cheesecake. And I don't know about y'all, but that chicken chipotle pasta, look, that's my go-to. Y'all can look through the other 48 pages. I know what I'm getting.
I don't like Cheesecake Factory or BJ's. Ain't they like kind of linked? I think they're like sister.
BJ's is trash.
And so is Cheesecake Factory.
But BJ's, you typically, most people go for the drinks anyway. I'll go for a drink to BJ's. I'm mad that they got rid of my favorite drink, though. A drink like that was fire. And
That's
they got
what
rid
it's
of it. It was called a drink like that.
Oh,
and they got rid of it. So mad. But I don't go to BJ's for the food because it's trash.
It ain't good. That's why I'm like, some of these restaurants are just
trash. But it's a chain. It's a chain restaurant. It's a chain restaurant.
And I think that was the thing with chain restaurants is most of them are not that great.
No, they're not. But it's a chain. I mean, you know what you get. Again, Cheesecake has a nice ambiance. It's average food, and it's to me that is an okay first date. That is not bad, but it ain't the best either. Like, it really depends on, like, are you just linking to try to fill each other out, or is it like I'm trying to impress you? But at the same time, it's like, as a man, when you taking out a girl on a date, it's like, if I take you out to like Q1227 or to
why y'all always gotta say somewhere expensive?
No, listen. What I'm saying is, if you're trying to impress somebody, what I'm saying is, as a man, most of the time we feel like if I take you out there first, it's kind of like, okay, do I go up from there or do I go down?
Oh, see, I don't want to set the bar too. Oh, okay. Again,
it's not
bar in hell.
No,
So
no. We didn't say bar. You think Cheesecake is what hell? Cheesecake ain't hell. But what I'm saying
you just said you want to keep the bar low.
No,
whether it's in hell or not.
No, what
you
I'm
said
saying
you don't want to put it too high.
No, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is you have to maintain. You have to keep that up. And Q1227, Roof Chris, those are $200-$300 dates every time you go.
Yeah, I wouldn't go do that anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, I think Cheesecake is an average. When I say average date. That's an average date. I don't think there's nothing wrong with an average date. But I agree with you that I think it is more meaningful to find somewhere new, find somewhere that is not a chain restaurant, find somewhere that you can still find places that have a good ambiance, but maybe like a family-owned restaurant or, somewhere that just maybe a little bit more intimate. I think too, because I feel like on a date, for me, I would want to be on a date where we're maybe a little bit more intimate. I think Cheesecake isn't really, it's nice, but it's not intimate.
I think too, like, again, like I said, it's kind of like, for me, it's kind of judging somebody's taste, and it's kind of like, where do you go on the regular? Like, and that's the thing, like, a lot of people nowadays, men and women,
gotta be honest, though,
they don't go outside.
Well, and they're
not outside, they're not going nowhere. So when it, like, I ain't even gonna lie, sometimes when I talk to my friends, I'm like, come on, we ain't been, let's link up. Shoot, where we gonna go? Shoot, I don't know. Like, we don't know nowhere to go because we don't be outside. So that's the problem. I feel like people need to get out more, and I feel like you would have more to bring to the table as far as a date. Because what are your interests? What do you do? Nobody go outside no more.
I think that is part of the problem. Is for men, when we go out, it is, pool, like simple things, right? Mm-hmm. When women go out, a lot of women are in the soft what do you call
We
it?
go out to eat.
Soft, yeah. So you got women do go to more of those places more often.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of women, their expectation is, I already treat myself to these places. So when I go on a date, I would want a man to take me to what I'm used to going.
Nah, when I go out with my friends and we go to eat, you would think that we out with drug dealers. The way we be spending in the places we be going, like, you know what I'm saying, like brunch spots.
But that's what I'm saying. I see a lot of black women going, treating themselves to brunch, treating themselves to some of more of the fancier places, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying, what I've heard from them is if this is what I would treat myself to, mm-hmm. then when I'm going on a date, why would I go less? Why would I go somewhere where I wouldn't take myself? I wouldn't take myself to cheese. Like from what I was hearing from there is when I want to go eat, I'm not going to Cheesecake. Mm-hmm. So why would you take me to Cheesecake out on a date?
Well, I wouldn't get on a date and get there and not get out the car and be ridiculous. But at the same time,
that was staged.
It definitely was. We know that.
That was
staged. People took it to heart. But I feel like
because when are you going on a date and not asking where you going?
You knew where you was going.
You knew where you was going.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just I think people need to get out more.
That's just like honestly for me.
I've been struggling with the same thing with my husband. Like, bro, I don't want to go. I love going to the Kings game, but can we do something else?
Yeah.
I like doing. Can we do something else?
Well, and I think what you're saying is key. Like for me, take them on a date on somewhere you enjoy. Mm-hmm. Like I enjoy paint and sip, so hey, that's a good date.
And that's what I told him. Because
we both enjoy it, right?
You know me. You know I like to be creative. I like to do those, like, so to me that should be it should be easy to find stuff. Like there's candle making classes, there's all kind of stuff, pottery,
there's places where you can learn how to cook different dishes. That's creative. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's different things. There's more creative. And really, like, you got to be almost like a tourist in your own city. Like, there's a lot of things that you do not know even exist because you just used to going to your main spots. But, like, go on Yelp, go on Groupon, go on, there's Instagram pages. I think there's, like, an Explore Sacramento page where I be seeing, they be, like, posting new spot. I'm like, where is that at?
Yeah, it's a new spot that he going with. It's like some new golf spot. It's not like it's like a Top Golf, but it's a new spot.
Yeah,
go over there.
You know, I saw when I went to the Kings game last week. There's a spot downtown right by the arena. It's called Tipsy Putt.
That's where they going.
Yeah.
I never heard of it before.
I never heard of it either. I saw it. I was like, all right, cool. Bank it in my memory. Like that would be cool to go to. I like drinking, and I like doing a little miniature golf. So that's
literally all we be asking for. But like for me, I ain't even gonna lie, and I think that's why I kind of be like pushing girls. Like I was one of them girls. It's like I'm real low maintenance. I'm real low key. Like
but you
can bring
have
me some snacks at the house, and I'm good. But then at the same time, like then it's kind of like, okay, well now that I'm coming out of that and understanding, like no, you just kind of was shrinking yourself, not for him, but just because that's what we're always taught.
No, I understand.
And I'm like, I do like going out.
But
and do
you can still
things.
be low maintenance and still have fun though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But when you get into that, like, oh, you know, I know a lot of like guys are not going to go above what they are required to do.
What it sounds like, y'all just asking for the initiative, and y'all asking to be creative.
Yeah, and I think a lot of women are realizing that, like, if you kind of don't set that bar, it's never going to go up on its own. Like, men are not going to say,
let me be honest with you.
Let me up it a little bit.
Let me be honest
they not.
With you. If a man ain't doing that, it's because he don't like you.
I think my husband like me. He just
no.
The way shit go, like I just feel like
no. We're talking about dating. You guys are married. That's different. That's different. That just means that maybe you got comfortable. I'm not talking about he don't.
That's
like
what I'm saying. But I feel like that's what happens when you set that bar. All the girls talking about, I'm okay with going on a walk for a first date. Okay,
yeah,
Jill
we're talking
Scott,
about, we're talking about
everybody don't want to do that.
But dating is different. As I'm saying, dating is different. Like you can tell if a man is really into you based on the effort. Mm-hmm. To me, that's what I think it is. Actually, I don't even ask what I think it is. I know that's what it is.
I think that's what it is. But too, a lot of time, I ain't gonna lie, like dudes be trying to like test you and vice versa. Like it's like all these tests. Like I want to see how she gonna act with it. Like everybody weird now.
Nah,
they is.
No. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying for me, it would be I'm gonna go do the things that I enjoy to do, and I want to see. I want company with me, and I like to see the things you enjoy to do, and I'll accompany you there. It don't like, yeah, I agree with what you're saying, that it's this game of chicken.
Yeah.
Who gonna, like, it's like a game within a game, and it's like, it doesn't have to be that.
It ain't gotta be all that.
That ain't gotta be all that. And honestly, y'all can weed out a lot of this riffraff by just having some real deep conversations on the phone or FaceTime or in person. And
or add these niggas on Facebook.
because I be seeing, well, y'all Instagram.
you
Because
learn a
I
lot.
be seeing people like, I ain't going on no coffee date. You might want to.
I don't drink coffee, so no, I'm not.
What I'm saying is a coffee date don't mean you just go get coffee. Meaning like it's just kind of like a meet and greet. Like let's just kind of link and see. If you're not going to do the phone conversation, then we need to have a conversation in person before I get like, there's a lot of energy that goes into a first date. Getting dressed up, hair done. That, you know what I mean? Like you doing all that, like, you know, buying a new outfit. Like you doing all that for somebody you potentially may not even like. If you're not having these conversations before, I just feel like that's a lot of time and energy invested in somebody that like, and then it's that awkwardness of, well, are we going to do a second date or what are we going to do? Like that's just so awkward.
I'm just glad I'm already in a relationship because
there you go.
I like, again, you can be open, you can be honest, like, hey, I want to do this more. I don't like this. I like this. Like, it's just so easy to just talk about it. Like when you dating, it's all this guessing, and I want to try to see if the person could, if they really know me and all that. I ain't got to do all that.
Ain't no guessing.
Ain't no guessing. It's just, hey, I don't like
Ain't no
this.
guessing. We gonna just put it. We gonna put it out there.
We put it out there,
and we gonna just let it be that. I don't know. A lot of y'all women, y'all dealing with some. Y'all got to even ask if the nigga even straight.
Are you gay?
Do you like women?
How you gonna ask me a question like that?
Even if you is,
How
do you like
you
women?
marry a woman and then turn around and let a man bend you over?
Ain't nobody bending me over.
Oh, so you doing the bending?
Oh, so you
Are you
doing the
gay?
bending? That scene was supposed to be so serious. Oh, we turn everything into a meme.
We do. We really do.
You better be asking these niggas that they don't be getting bent over, don't be doing the bending. Before y'all be swiping left and matching and all that.
Man, I couldn't be outside.
All right, well. We outside in these streets, in the podcast streets, and we gonna let y'all go. We appreciate y'all for listening.
We got off topic
I
as
thought
usual.
it was gonna be a short pod, but it ended up being, the regular pod. But look, we trying to make sure that the people that work, people that's driving their little trucks, people that's doing things, cleaning up, that y'all got something to listen to. So we appreciate y'all. I'm trying to think if we got anything coming up. Oh, we don't know, but we may be taking a break for the holidays. We will let y'all know.
Yeah.
Via Instagram, Facebook, whatever. If we do, matter of fact, actually, we will not have an episode before Thanksgiving. So we are going to wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving today, man.
Yes.
Because by the time y'all listen to this, it will be the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I will report back to y'all. I got to make some yams for the first time ever. I don't know why people are going to put me on something I ain't never made before. And I can't even cook that good.
Well, you better go on some YouTube or something. Find some videos. But while we're doing Thanksgiving, because this will be the week of Thanksgiving, I did not realize that until I just looked at the calendar. We thank y'all.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all for riding with us. It's been a rough year, but we have gotten through it. We have gotten through the season. Mm-hmm. We've appreciated all the love and the support that we've gotten from our listeners, from the fans, from the Reverb Nation, from the social media, from just the community in general. So
Absolutely.
We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we are pretty close to our goal at 500 subscribers. And then the next goal will be 1,000. So
we out here.
Thank y'all. We thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all, man. Not take it for granted.
Absolutely.
And I will say this too, for because I know we don't talk too much about the Reverb Nation. For the main contributors to the Reverb Nation, we definitely appreciate y'all. From Sharonda to Zenzi to Thomas to
I think Jeremy.
That's
a lot of people.
A lot of people. The D-Lo's always been supporting us and sharing our stuff. There's a lot of people. I can't think of all the names, but you guys know what we're talking about. The people that consistently share, the people that consistently like, the people that consistently support us, that we thank y'all. All right? So y'all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Eat some good food. Spend some time with some family. And be safe.
Yes.
Be safe. All right? So we appreciate y'all, and we will holler at y'all later.
We out.